Exodus chapter 1. These are the names of the sons of Jacob who went with him to Egypt, each with his family: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Dacta. The direct descendants of Jacob were 70 people in all. Joseph, the other son, was already in Egypt. Later, Joseph and all his brothers died, and also all the others of that generation. But the descendants of Jacob, the Israelites, had many children and increased so much that they became powerful, and they spread throughout all of Egypt. Then a new king came to power in Egypt, who knew nothing about Joseph. He said to his people, "Look, the people of Israel are strong and are increasing faster than we are. In case of war, they might join our enemies, fight against us, and leave the country. We need to find a way to keep them from becoming even more numerous." So the Egyptians put taskmasters over the Israelites to mistreat them with hard labor. And so the Israelites built the cities of Pithom and Ramesses, where the king of Egypt stored the grain harvests. But the more the Egyptians mistreated the Israelites, the more they increased. The Egyptians became afraid of them and turned them into slaves, treating them with brutality. It made their lives bitter, forcing them to do hard work in brickmaking, in construction, and in the fields. In all the work the Israelites did, they were treated with cruelty. The king of Egypt gave Shiphrah and Puah, who were midwives for the Israelite women, the following order: when you help the Israelite women give birth, do the following. If a boy is born, kill him. But if a girl is born, let her live. However, the midwives feared God and did not do what the king of Egypt had ordered. On the contrary, they let the boys live. Then the king called the midwives and asked, "Why are you doing this? Why are you letting the boys live?" "It is because the Israelite women are not like the Egyptian women. They give birth easily. The babies are born before the midwife arrives." The midwives feared God, and so he was good to them and made them have their own families. And the people of Israel increased and became very strong. Then the king gave the following order to all his people: "Throw into the Nile River all the Israelite boys who are born. Throw into the Nile River all the Israelite boys who are born, but let all the girls live." Chapter 2. A man and a woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that the boy was very beautiful, and so she hid him for 3 months. When she could not hide him any longer, she took a basket made of reeds, sealed the holes with tar and pitch, put the boy in it, and placed the basket among the reeds on the riverbank. The boy's sister stayed at a distance to see what would happen to him. The daughter of the king of Egypt went down to the river and was bathing while her maidservants were walking along the riverbank. Suddenly she saw the basket among the reeds and sent one of her slave girls to fetch it. The princess opened the basket and saw a baby crying. She felt very sorry for him and said, "This is a Hebrew boy." Then the child's sister asked the princess, "Do you want me to go call a Hebrew woman to nurse and raise this child for you? Go, go." So the girl went and brought the boy's own mother, and the princess said to her, "Take this boy and raise him for me, and I will pay you for your work." The woman took the boy and raised him. When he was grown, she took him to the daughter of the king, who adopted him as her son. She named him Moses and said, "I pulled him out of the water." One day he went out to visit his people and saw how the Israelites were forced to do hard labor. He also saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite, one of his own people. Moses looked around, and seeing no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid the body in the sand. The next day he went out again and saw 2 Israelites fighting. Then he asked the one who was mistreating the other, "Why are you hitting your fellow countrymen? Who made you our leader or our judge? Are you planning to kill me like you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses became afraid and thought, "They have found out what I did." When the king of Egypt heard what Moses had done, he wanted to kill him. But Moses fled and went to live in the land of Midian. Jethro, the priest of Midian, had 7 daughters. One day when Moses was sitting near a well, they came to draw water and filled the troughs to give water to their father's sheep and goats. Then some shepherds arrived and began to drive the girls away. But Moses stood up and defended them and gave water to the animals. When they returned to the place where their father was, he asked, "Why did you come back so early today? An Egyptian defended us from the shepherds, drew water for the troughs, and even gave water to our animals. And where is he? Why did you leave him there? Go call him, won't you, so he can have dinner with us?" Then Jethro invited Moses to live there, and he agreed. So Jethro gave his daughter Zipporah to Moses as his wife. When she had a son, Moses named him Gershom and said, I am a foreigner in a strange land. A few years later, the king of Egypt died, but the Israelites kept groaning because of their slavery. They cried out for help, and their cries reached God. God heard their groaning and remembered the covenant he had made with Abraham, Isaac, and with Jacob. God saw the slavery of the Israelites and was concerned about them. Chapter 3. Moses was taking care of the sheep and goats of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. One day Moses led the flock to the other side of the desert, and he went to Mount Sinai, the holy mountain. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire in the middle of a bush. Moses saw that the bush was on fire, but it was not burning up. Then he thought, what a strange thing. Why is the bush not burning up? I will go closer to see. When the Lord God saw that Moses was coming closer to look better, he called to him from the middle of the bush and said, Moses, Moses, here I am. Stop right there and take off your sandals, for the place where you are is holy ground. I am the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Then Moses covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord said, I have seen how my people are being mistreated in Egypt. I have heard their cry for help because of their slave drivers. I know what they are suffering. That is why I have come down to free them from the power of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of Egypt to a large and good land. It is a rich and good land, where the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites live. In fact, I have heard the cry for help of my people, and I have seen how the Egyptians are mistreating them. Now come, and I will send you to the king of Egypt, so that you bring my people out of there, the Israelites. Moses asked God, who am I to go speak to the king of Egypt and bring the people of Israel out of that land? I will be with you. When you bring my people out of Egypt, you will worship me on this mountain, and this will be a sign that I have sent you. When I go speak to the Israelites and tell them, the God of your ancestors sent me to you, they will ask me, what is his name? Then what should I say? I am who I am. You will say this, I am has sent me to you. The Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is his name forever, and this is how he will be remembered by you in all times. Go gather the leaders of the people of Israel, and tell them that I, the Lord, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob appeared to you and commanded you to say, I have seen your situation, and I know what the Egyptians are doing to you. I have decided to bring you out of Egypt where you are being mistreated, and I will take you to a good and rich land, the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. My people will listen to what you say, and you and the leaders of the people of Israel will go speak to the king of Egypt. Say to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, appeared to us. Now let us go into the desert, a journey of 3 days, to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. I know that if the king of Egypt is not forced, he will not let you go, so I will use my power and perform terrible acts to punish the Egyptians. After that, the king will let you leave Egypt. I will make the Egyptians respect you, and when you leave, you will not go empty-handed. Each Israelite woman should ask the Egyptian women who are living in her house or who are her neighbors to give her objects of silver and gold and clothing, which you will put on your sons and your daughters, and so you will take the wealth of the Egyptians.